NLWN-TV is on the air. Today we proudly present a Western Saddle Clubs Association Open Equestrian Show from the Spur Saddle Club in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And now, out to Spur for coverage of today's Open Equestrian Show.
Hello from the Spur Saddle Club in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. We have open equestrian games for you today. Rick Olson here along with Dan Petchow, and Dan's doing double duty today. He's also the arena announcer, so he may get confused as to which microphone he's supposed to be talking into and whatnot. But today we're going to see what, Dan? What are we going to be seeing today, Dan?
Yeah, we got a bunch of events today. We have everything from right now where you're starting egg and spoon, to pole weaving, to key race, barrel race, jumping figure eight, and speed dash, 4 and 9 barrels.
And as we get to those, we'll give you coverage. We'll be back with pole weaving, the 35 to 49-year-old age group, right after we take this time out. You're watching Open Equestrian Games on NLWN-TV.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
And welcome back to the Spur Saddle Club, and we're getting ready for the pole weaving. And I don't know if Dan is back up there with us or not, but it sure kind of looks like he is. Dan, can you describe pole weaving for us real quick?
Yep. So what they're going to do, there's 6 poles out there. They have to weave the poles down and weave them back, and then they get their time.
Okay, so zigzag down, zigzag back, and that's what it is with pole weaving. And we have the, let's see, looking at the wrong sheets here.
For 3 entries.
Yeah, we have the 35 to 49-year-olds for pole weaving coming up. So we have 3 in that 35 to 49-year-old age group. And so they should be starting pretty soon. The officials out in the arena just got done making sure the poles are all set up nice and straight. The key is if you get at one end of the pole and you look down the line, it still should just look like one pole. And they're doing a final check of the clock.
Yep, we got it.
And now they have the clock going, as you could hear from the public address announcer for the arena.
We are set.
So we have 3 riders. Janelle Schuler riding Annie should be the first one up. Martha Northwick is on deck. She's riding Jackson, and Erica Payne riding Martini. 63-degree Sunday afternoon in Eau Claire, Wisconsin on the 2nd of August. Ready for snow to fly by the end of next week if it keeps doing this.
Don't say that yet. Oh, my gosh.
Okay, so we have Janelle Schuler coming in on Annie. Now she's got the horse wound up and heading down. Doesn't matter which side of the poles you start on. She makes a circle at the top, works her way back through. And she got a 14.46.
14.467. 14.467 for Janelle Schuler.
So that is going to bring up Martha Northwick riding Jackson. Martha's in the chute. She comes into the arena. There goes Martha.
Alex Meany will be first. McKenna Anderson second. Alex Clark third.
She makes the turn at the top and is working her way back. Makes the final pole and gets a time of 16.648.
16.648 for Martha Northwick.
That brings up Erica Payne riding Martini. Sounds like a good idea to me if I've ever heard one. And here comes Erica into the chute. And now she's in the arena. And she's on her way down, that first way down. She makes it around the top. Coming back. And she gets a 16.186.
16.186.
So
Class 46, pole weaving 18 to 34.
that means that Martha Northwick ends up in third place. Second place is Erica Payne. First place in the pole weaving 35 to 49 goes to Janelle Schuler riding Annie.
Placings for pole weaving class 45, 35 to 49. First place. Yep.
That means that we now will go to 18 to 34-year-olds.
First place went to Janelle Schuler with a 14.467. Second was Erica Payne with a
That gives us Alex Mead riding Carmen will be first. McKenna Anderson riding Razor will be second. And in the hole will be Alexis Quack riding Diamond.
All right, we are set.
And so Alex Mead on Carmen.
You're in the hole. Poles are set. Timer is ready.
She comes into the arena. Makes a loop and heads down the course. Makes the turn at the top, coming on back. And she got a 13.126.
13.126 for Alex Mead.
Alex Mead had a 13.126. McKenna Anderson riding Razor is coming up next. As McKenna enters the chute. And now comes into the arena. Quickly straight at the poles. Nice fluid motion on her ride. Nice and tight around the poles. And she got a 13.478. 13.478 for McKenna Anderson. Alexis Quack on Diamond is the next one up. Pole weaving, 18 to 34-year-old. Alexis enters the arena. Kind of doing a figure eight to get the horse ready to run, and now she's off and running. And knocked over a pole. So unfortunately, that's going to be a no time for Alexis. Nice looking run. It would have been a 14.476 had she not knocked over the pole. So that's unfortunate.
Up next, Brianna Anderson.
So Brianna Anderson is up riding Asher.
Anderson, you're in the hole.
Michaela McElwain on Coco will be following Brianna. Brianna comes into the arena. Getting things warmed up.
Hey, Troy, when you get a chance, can you come up to the announcer stand?
Gets the horse turned, and off and going she is. Makes the turns and comes back through. This is Brianna and 18.293. 18.293. For Brianna Anderson. Michaela McElwain is up next riding Coco. So this is McKenna Anderson, or check that, Michaela McElwain, now in the arena on Coco. I think you can see clearly why the horse got that name, and she's off and running. Makes the corner at the top, coming back. And you could hear her frustration as she knocked over the next to the last pole. She would have had an 11.793, would have been the top time of the day, but it doesn't count when you knock over a pole. So McKenna Anderson is up. McKenna's riding Foxy.
Yeah, anybody want to sign up for 4 and 9 barrels? Come on up.
And McKenna comes into the arena. And Foxy's taking her time, taking McKenna around the course. And she got a time of 22.223 for McKenna Anderson.
Mackenzie Haas, you're up. Julie Northwick, you're on deck, and Brianna Anderson, you're no.
So Mackenzie Haas is the next one up. She's riding Genuine Shot of Peppy. Julian Northwick is going to be in the or on deck on Itzy, and then Brianna Anderson riding Sage will wrap up this age group. So waiting for Mackenzie Haas. There she is, coming into the chute. Enters the arena. Takes a turn or two to warm up. And off she goes. Nice and tight around, the poles going down. Now let's see if she can make it all the way back. This is where the poles have been getting knocked down, and it's a clean run.
Good run there, 12.716. 12.
A new leader, 12.716 for Mackenzie Haas.
Julian Northwick, you're up. Brianna Anderson, you're on deck, and then we'll drag.
So we have Julia Northwick riding Itzy.
Class 46 or class 47, pulling 14 to 17. You guys
and then we have Brianna Anderson on deck. So this is Julia Northwick now into the arena.
Shore, Blair 4th, and Lydia Leach 5th.
She's making her way back down. And we have a 23.450. 23.450. And Brianna Anderson will wrap up this age group. Brianna comes into the arena. Riding Sage. This is her second horse. And she's off quickly and knocked over a barrel. Unfortunately, she gets a no, or not a barrel, but a pole. So she gets no time on Sage. And, of course, knocked over another one. So if you're going to knock over one, you might as well knock over two. And Sage didn't really like seeing that pole laying on the ground either.
down for Brianna.
So that brings us to the end of the 18 to 34-year-old pole weaving. Third place went to McKenna Anderson on Razor. Second place went to Alex Mead riding Carmen. And first place with a time of 12.716 went to Mackenzie Haas on Genuine Shot of Peppy. We'll be back with the 14 to 17-year-olds in pole weaving right after this brief timeout. You're watching Open Equestrian Games on NLWN-TV.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
And welcome back to the Bit and Spur Saddle Club. We now have the 14 to 17-year-old pole weaving. Ashlyn Strand riding Independent and Free is the first one up. Anna Patel riding Socks will be on deck, and in the hole is Kira Prochnow riding Loudy. And this is Ashlyn Strand. She's on her way back. Trust me, the arena isn't tilted. And 20.633, 20.633 for Ashlyn Strand. Anna Patel on Socks is up. Anna Patel has scratched, I believe. So that should bring Kira Prochnow up.
Kira, is that you? Got it. All right, in the scratch. Kira, you're up. Kylie, you're on deck. And Lydia Leach, you're in the hole.
So Kira Prochnow is now up, and Kylie Schleyer riding Amber is in the hole. And so here's Kira. And she makes the turn at the top very nicely. Works her way back. And gets a time of 12.895. That puts her in the lead. 12.895 for Kira. Kylie Schleyer is up. Lydia Leach is on deck. And Maya Smith is in the hole. Kylie is riding Amber. And she enters the arena. And now she's off and running. Makes a clean turn at the top. Got a little bit wide. Now on her way back. And coming down through. 16.563.
For Kylie Schleyer.
That puts her in second place. Lydia Leach on Dust of Ace is up next. This is Lydia coming into the chute. And now she's in the arena. Dust of Ace with Lydia on board. Makes a turn up at the top, coming back down the other way.
Hey, Troy.
And gets through the end 15.688. 15.688.
For Lydia Leach. Mia Smith, you're up. Jensine Basil, you're on deck, and Autumn Morrow.
So that moves Lydia into second place, ahead of Kylie. And so Maya Smith is up. Jensine Basil is on deck. Maya Smith on board Bailey in the arena. And she knocks a pole, but it stays upright. Coming back down the other way. All poles stayed upright. 13.973. 13.973. That should put her into second place, ahead of Lydia Leach. So Jensine Basil is up, riding Candy. And on deck is Autumn Morrow with Rodeo. Jensine Basil on board Candy. And she's off and running. Tail swished one of the poles, but it stayed upright. And we're going to have a broken pattern because she missed one of the poles.
Broken pattern for Jensine Basil.
And that brings up Autumn Morrow on board Rodeo and Olivia Taylor on deck.
To class 48, pole weaving 11 to 13.
So we have currently in the lead Kira Prochnow with the time to beat of 12.895 in this class. So Autumn Morrow quickly, didn't waste any time warming up. Gets turned at the top. Coming back down. It's 16.760 for Autumn.
For Autumn Morrow. Olivia Taylor, you're up.
Olivia Taylor on board Rawhide.
Drag. Class 48, pole weaving 11 to 13. You guys can be getting ready. Here's the first five in that. Olivia Strand, Coley Lane, you'll be second. Michaela Lane, third.
And so Olivia is on her way. Again, no warming up. Olivia Taylor on Rawhide. It's the corner turned at the top, got inside that next pole. It looked almost like Rawhide wasn't thinking about doing that, but she got a time of 17.777.
17.777. All right. We're just going to quick drink the last pole.
And let's see, we have third place in that 14 to 17 Lydia Leach on Dust of Eighths took third. Second place went to Maya Smith riding Bailey. First place, Kira Prochnow on Loudy with a time of 12.895. And while they take care of the last pole down there, we'll take a quick time out. You're watching Open Equestrian Games from the Bit and Spur Saddle Club on NLWN-TV.
Because of you, I felt hopeless. I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me. Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included, and I knew that I was going to be okay.
And we're back at the Bit and Spur Saddle Club, and quickly Olivia Strand gets started for us, and off her horse she goes.
Hold on a second. Take your time. Give me a little thumbs up.
And Olivia Strand taking her time getting up. It's not a fun thing to go flying off the back of the horse. She was riding Rumchata. She appears to be okay.
Did you get across the timer?
It appears as though she may not have crossed the timer.
All right. Chloe Lane, you're up. Michaela, you're on deck of Bristol.
Okay, Chloe Lane is running for fun. Chloe Lane. And Chloe heads on down, makes the corner at the far end. And coming back. And she got through. 14,626.
For Chloe Lane. Michaela Lane, you're up. Bristol, you're on deck. And Taylor, you're
So Michaela Lane is up. Michaela is riding Wash My Socks.
First place went to 350. Kierpart now with a 12-8.
Wash My Socks was one of the winners in the Egg and Spoon competition.
Went to Mia Smith. Third goes to 84, Lydia Leach. Fourth, 472.
And taking her time going down. This is Michaela Lane. Makes the corner at the top. And she's got a clean run. And a time of 21.080.
For Michaela Lane. Bristol, Panasha, you're up. Taylor, you're on deck.
Currently in second place. Bristol Tachik riding Sunny. And Bristol is off and going. And Sunny's kind of out for an afternoon stroll. But it's a clean run.
Clean time, 26.081.
26.081. So that's Bristol in third place. Taylor Ptachik riding Alice is up. Taylor gets around the first two poles. Makes the corner at the top. And she gets a time of 20.350. 20.350. That moves, actually, Taylor goes up to second place. Allie Haas riding Charlie is the next one up. And Allie's in the arena. Allie trying to challenge that lead time of 14.6. It's a clean ride. 14.412, and we have a new leader.
That's our new leader. Ava Ailman, you're up. Maisie Schuldner, you're on.
That puts Ava Ailman on deck.
And then we'll
riding Bernie.
49, pole weaving 10 and under.
And then Maisie Schuldner is on deck. This is Ava. Gets the turn at the top. Nudges the pole, but not enough to knock it over. And down across. 16.409 for Ava Ailman and Maisie Schuldner By the way, that time put Maisie into third place. Here we have Mackenzie Schulner. And Mackenzie's riding Pony Boy. And 13.356. And we have a new leader. And Olivia Strand, who was taken, who went off the horse as she first tried, but did not cross the start-finish line, is being given an opportunity, I believe. And here she comes. Olivia Strand. Going to give it a try again. And she's going to get herself a clean run this way, which is a whole lot better than sitting on the dirt. And congratulations to Olivia for getting back on the horse that threw her. 20.915.
All right, quick little drag.
And so the results, we have third place was Chloe Lane in riding Running for Fun. Second place was Allie Haas riding Charlie. And first place with a time of 13.356. First place, Maisie Schulner, and she was on Pony Boy. So that takes care of the 11 to 13 age group. Coming up, we have some riders in the 10 and under. We have 3 entries in that. And they're doing just a quick rake of the arena for these 10 and unders. They should be coming up real soon.
Also, yeah, we do have cards up here.
They,
for the webcast, so come up and grab those.
They aren't doing a full drag. It doesn't take as long, but they're just trying to clean up the end pole a little bit, make it safer for the horses to get around. Okay, it appears as though they're just about ready. Jillian Basil riding Molly will be the first one up. Then Joseph Basil on Paisley. And then Indy Schulner will be riding Jack. I think you're going to like seeing Jack. Okay, Jillian Basil is up. Turns a couple times, gets things warmed up. And now she's heading down the right way.
11 to 13. First place goes to Maisie Schulner with the 13.
Molly doesn't necessarily want to do this. Jillian's trying to coax her as best she can.
Third was Chloe Lane with 14.626. Fourth was Ava Elman with 16.409. Fifth was Taylor.
Jillian Basil makes the turn at the top of the course. Trying to urge Molly to come back. And 35.002. 35.002.
Joe, you're up. Indy,
so Joe Basil is the next one up. Here comes Joe through the chute, being guided. And into the arena. And Joe gets around the first pole, now around the second pole. These young guys are learning the pattern. learning the horse. He makes it cleanly down the first half, makes the turn at the top, coming back. And here comes Joe with a time of 30.934. That puts Joe in first place so far. Indy Schulner riding Jack, and Jack has done this a few times.
Class 51, which is key race 35 to 49. Janelle Schulner, you'll be first.
So here comes
Martha Northwick.
Indy Schulner on Jack, and watch Jack go. Jack the Mini gets the turn at the top and coming back the other way. And here comes Jack, 14.255. And that means Indy is going to win that 10 and under class.
You guys will be next.
And so we have Jillian Basil taking third, Joseph Basil taking second, and first place went to Indy Schulner riding Jack the Mini with a time of 14.255. We have the key race coming up, and they're going to take a minute or two to get things set up for the key race. So we're going to take this time out. You're watching Open Equestrian Games from the Bit and Spur Saddle Club on NLWN-TV.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy.
What do you call a pig that knows karate?
Pork chop.
So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Okay, we're back here at the Bit and Spur Saddle Club, and we are getting ready for the key race. And Dan, can you tell us how to do the key race?
So the key race is just a little slot. It's 4 feet wide, 10 feet long, and the object is to go down through the poles and turn around and come right back through. Fastest time wins.
Down and back, but that actually is much easier said than done, because it looks plenty wide from here, but it's a pretty narrow path for the horse to get through.
Yeah, there's not much there.
What did you say? 4 feet wide?
4 feet wide, 10 feet long. Yep.
And when you're on the back of that horse, that 4 feet gets really narrow as you get close to it.
All right, class 51 key race.
Okay, so we've got the 35 to 49-year-olds. Janelle Schulner riding Annie is the first one up. And here comes Janelle. And down she goes. Yeah, horses like to do a little zigging and zagging before they head down through that slot. She gets through cleanly in a time of 13.546. 13.546. So that's the time to beat. Martha Northwick on Jackson is our next rider. And Martha's in the chute. And comes into the arena. Trying to get Jackson heading the right way now. She's off and running. All the way through. She nudges a pole, but it stays upright. Turns it, come back through. A little hesitation before coming back through, but here comes Jackson with Martha Northwick. 12.574. That's a new leader. Brings up Erica Payne on Martini.
So Alex Mead, you'll be on deck. McKenna Anderson, you'll be in the hole.
So here comes Erica Payne. being guided into the arena, and here we go. Erica Payne with Martini, trying to get the horse settled down and turned, and off and running they are. And almost knocked the pole over. It stayed up. She has a clean run going down and through and gets a time 9.882. One of the faster times I've seen recently, and that's going to be good enough to win that age group. Third place went to Janelle Schulner on Annie. Second place to Martha Northwick on Jackson. And first place to Erica Payne riding Martini with a time of 9.882. That brings us to the 18 to 34-year-old age group. Coming up first will be Alex Mead. On board Carmen. On deck is McKenna Anderson on Razor. So Alex Mead on Carmen in the chute. And now into the arena. It's the 18 to 34-year-olds. And off and running. Makes it down through very cleanly. Turns around, comes back the other way. 10.475. 10.475 for Alex Mead. And Carmen. McKenna Anderson is up riding Razor. It's McKenna Anderson coming into the chute. On board Razor.
Could use a couple more teams in Foreign Lions if anybody wants to put a team
Backs
together.
in. And gets things ready. Trying to beat that 10.475 of Alex Mead. McKenna Anderson on her way. Gets turned, got a little wide on the turn, and knocks over a pole at the top end. So we're going to get a no time on a time that would have been 11.106. That brings up Alexis Quack, riding Diamond.
Alexis Quack, you're up. Brianna Anderson, you're on deck. And Michaela McElwain, you're in the hole.
And Alexis is getting ready to enter the chute. Here she comes. And into the arena. Alexis taking off. And knocked over the pole at the top end of the slot. So she will also have a no time. 10.752 is what she would have had. That's going to bring up Brianna Anderson on board Asher.
After the pole is set, Brianna Anderson, you're going to be up. Michaela, you're on deck, and McKenna Anderson, you're in the hole.
Still waiting for, here comes Brianna into the chute.
Anderson is up, riding Asher.
Makes a turn or two. Straight down, makes the turn, coming back.
Clean time,
13.818. 13.818.
For Brianna Anderson. Michaela McElwain, you're up. McKenna Anderson.
That'll put her in second place.
You're in the hole.
And that brings up Michaela McElwain on board Coco. She enters the gate. And now the arena. Coco gets turned around. Nice and steady, and off and running she goes. Makes the turn at the top, coming back down through. and a 10.798. 10.798 for Michaela. Puts her in second place. So McKenna Anderson is coming up now, riding Foxy. And Mackenzie Haas with Genuine Shot of Peppy is up after that. So into the arena right now is McKenna Anderson. And Foxy takes her time as she gets close to the poles. McKenna gets her turned around, brings her through. And a 17.609. 17.609. Mackenzie Haas on Genuine Shot of Peppy is the next one up. We have a couple more riders after that in this age group. So Mackenzie Haas entering the arena. And she's off and running. Slight nudge of the pole in the top end, and then she knocks it over coming back through. So unfortunately, a no time, what would have been a really good time of 9.55.
Would have been something. 9.554.
And that would have put her in the lead, but unfortunately, knocking over the pole at the top end gives her a no time instead. So Brianna Anderson is going to finish out this age group on board Sage. And she's looking to beat the time of 10.475 of Alexis Mead. Still waiting for her to enter the gate area. And now she's in the arena. Oh, this is Julia Northwick. I'm sorry, Julia Northwick. And she comes back through. 13.239. 13.239.
Number 82, Brianna Anderson, you're up.
And that's going to put her into third place.
14 to 17, so Ashlyn, you're going to be on deck. Anna Patel, you're going to be in the hole.
So now we have Brianna Anderson. And Brianna quickly down. Turns quickly, coming back, looking to challenge that lead. Oh, and knocked over a pole, the middle pole. 10.21, and it would have been enough to take the lead. Unfortunately, she will not get a time for knocking over the middle pole on the left side there. So the results of the 18 to 34-year-olds in the key race. Third place went to Julia Northwick on board Itzy. Second place, Michaela McElwain on board Coco. And first place with a time of 10.475, Alex Mead riding Carmen. That's going to bring us to the 14 to 17-year-olds.
53, key race 14 to 17. You guys, can we get ready? We're just going to do a quick drag on the end.
So they're going to clean up the end, I believe.
Anna Patel second, Gear Partner third, Kylie Schleer fourth, Lydia Leach.
And that's what they're going to do. So while they do that, we'll take a brief time out. You're watching Open Equestrian Games on NLWN-TV.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
And we're back at the Bit Spur Saddle Club in Eau Claire, where we're getting ready for key race ages 14 to 17-year-old. And Ashlyn Strand on Independent and Free is the first one up, and she's in the arena. And she's off and running. She gets turned around, going really wide on the turnaround. Lost a lot of time on that. Otherwise, a clean run.
Clean time, 16.315.
16.315.
For Ashlyn. Kara Procnow, you're up. Kylie Schleyer, you're on deck. And Lydia, you're up.
And that sets up Kira Procnow on Loudy. And here goes Kira. Straight through very nicely. Gets the horse turned at the top end and back through. Looking for a really good time. 10.023, I think is what that lasted. 10.023, and that is now the time to beat.
Kylie, you're up. Lydia, you're on deck. And Mia Smith, you're in the hole.
Kylie Schler on Amber. Schleyer. Kylie Schleyer. I keep getting reminded of that, but it's like it goes in one ear and out the other. And I even have coverings over the years to trap it in there, and it's not helping. All right, anyway, here goes Kylie. A little wiggle as they go in. Cleanly, though. Gets turned around at the top. Went a little wide on the turnaround. Coming back down. And 14.668.
14.668 for Kylie.
That'll put Kylie into second place. Lydia Leach on Dust of Ace is the next one up. Maya Smith on Bailey will be on deck. But this is Lydia Leach. Lydia gets turned and off they run. Straight through the poles. Turned at the top. Nicely back through. Coming back down. 10.782. 10.782. That will put her in second place over Kylie Schleyer. Mia Smith coming into the gate area. And now into the arena. She turns Bailey around and off they go. Through the poles. Got a little wide on the turn at the top. And had to slow down as they re-entered the poles, but coming back down through with a clean run. 13.228. 13.228.
Jensen Basil, you're up. Automaro, you're on deck. And Olivia,
but it will move her into third place.
Key race 13 and under, you guys can be
Jensine Basil is now up.
The first 5 in that.
Riding Candy. Autumn Morrow on Rodeo will be on deck. Jensine Basil on Candy, waiting for her to enter. Taking her time. Some of the horses aren't real thrilled about going through a gate. But she gets her into the arena. Doing a little moving around, get things loosened up, ready to go. And another loop around. And off they go. Slows down a little going in, almost faulted at the beginning of the poles there. Got turned and comes back. Clean run. 11.990. 11.990 for Jensine Basil.
Then we'll go to class 54.
That will put her into third place.
13 and under. So
Autumn Morrow is the next rider. Autumn's riding Rodeo. Then Olivia Taylor on Rawhide will be on deck. But this is Autumn Morrow on Rodeo. Nice clean through, turn at the top. That's a classic keyhole run right there. That's exactly the way it should look. 12.493. That's what the pattern should look like, even if it's not the best time. It looked very nice. That gives us Olivia Taylor coming up to wrap up this age group. Olivia is riding Rawhide. Olivia enters the gate area and now into the arena. He makes the turn at the top. Olivia Taylor coming back down, and a clean run, 15.872. 15.872. And that's going to wrap up the 14 to 17-year-olds.
Class 54, K-Race 13 and under. You guys are up.
And taking third place then was Jensine Basil on Candy. Second place was Lydia Leach on Dust of Ace. And in first place with a time of 10.023, Kira Prochnow riding Loudy. That brings us to the 13 and under. And this is Olivia Strand on Rumchata. And Rumchata decided that going through the poles didn't look like a good idea, so they did a little loop-de-loop before going through the poles. Coming back the other way now. And through. We'll see if that's timed or counted as a broken pattern.
Yep, clean time.
It is a time of 26.953.
Olivia. Chloe, you're up. Michaela Lane, you're up.
Chloe Lane is up. These are the 13 and under. Chloe Lane trying to get things going, and I think she might have passed the start line, and she did. And she did pass the start line to start with, and triggered that. So it will be a no time, even though she ran it well once she got the horse settled down. They call that a broken timer. So Michaela Lane is up. And she's on Wash My Socks. Bristol Potachik on Sunny will be on deck. Taylor Potachik on Alice will be in the hole. Michaela Lane on Wash My Socks.
14 to 17. First place went to Kira Prochnow with a 10.023. Second was Lydia. Third, Jensen Basil.
And here goes Wash My Socks, trying really hard not to get the socks too dirty. Turned around at the top. And back through. She's going to get a clean run. 18.402. 18.402.
Bristol, you're up. Taylor, you're on deck. And Allie Haas.
That actually is the lead time for right now. That brings up Bristol Potachik. Bristol goes straight down towards the poles. Gets it turned around at the far end. Coming back down through.
Clean times.
And 15.600.
Bristol. Taylor, you're up. Allie Haas, you're on deck. And Jillian Basil, you're in the hole.
And that will put Bristol in second place. Taylor Potachik coming into the arena. A little hesitation there at the poles. And back through. 15.934. 15.934. That'll put Taylor in third place. Allie Haas on board Charlie is the next one up. Charlie not real excited about going in the arena. They get Charlie into the arena, try to get things settled down. Charlie's not happy about this. A little adjustment on the bit, it looks like. And now she's off and running. This is Allie Haas on board Charlie. Gets Charlie turned around, coming back. And 11.11, or check that, 11.179. 11.179. And that's our new leader.
Jillian, you're up. Joseph, you're on deck. And Ava Elman, you're in the hole.
Allie Haas takes the lead, and that gets us Jillian Basil on Molly. These are the youngsters. They normally would have been in the 10 and under group, but they're running that whole group together right now because of numbers. Molly takes her time going through. Jillian gets her turned around and coming back through. It's going to be a clean run for Jillian.
Clean time,
28.764. 28.764 for Jillian Basil. Joseph Basil on Paisley.
This is Joseph Basil with Paisley.
And Joseph comes into the arena. Joseph's trying to convince Paisley to keep going. Paisley says, there's interesting looking people over there. He's kind of admiring the scenery as he walks on down. Now he goes into the poles. It's turned around and coming back. It's going to be a clean run for Joe.
Clean time,
33.525. 33.525 for Joseph Basil. Ava Allman on Bernie.
This is number 57, Ava Elman with Bernie.
Ava getting ready to come in. Here she comes.
Just a few left in key race 13 and under. So we'll go to class 56.
She gets down and through. And, well, she made it. It looked like it was going to be a broken pattern, but she made it through that last pole. 14.315.
After the pole is set, is it all good? She tipped it, but I didn't know.
And let's see, I believe that's going to put her in second place. It is. So that brings us up to Indy Schulner riding Jack. And this is Jack the Mini, so Jack is very experienced at this.
All right. Indy, you're up. Maisie Schulner, you're on deck. is Indy Schulner with Jack.
Indy being led into the arena. And off they go. Gets Jack turned around at the top, coming back through nice and quick. 11.354. That's going to put her into second place. Second place. So Maisie Schulner on Pony Boy will be next.
We'll get set up for barrels. 35 to 49. You guys will be next.
There goes Maisie Schulner riding Pony Boy. Gets turned at the top very nicely and coming back. Looking for a quick time here. And a real good time. 9.894, and that is your new leader.
All right, that's all for key race. Barrels 35 to 49, class 56.
So, third place in the 13 and under key race is Indy Schulner on Jack. Second place went to Allie Haas on board Charlie. And then first place with a time of 9.894, Maisie Schulner riding Pony Boy. And that brings us to the end of the key race. We're going to be back with barrel racing right after this timeout. You're watching Open Equestrian Games from the Bit and Spur Saddle Club in Eau Claire, Wisconsin on NLWN-TV.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
And we're back here at the Bit and Spur Saddle Club. We're about ready to get the barrels going. They're still in the process of getting the barrels set. So, Dan, why don't you explain to us what the pattern looks like for barrel racing?
So barrel racing is one barrel to the left and two to the right, or one to the right and two to the left in a cloverleaf pattern. Fastest time wins.
So it really doesn't matter if those two forward barrels, it doesn't matter which one they attack first.
Nope. Either way.
And that's totally the preference of the rider?
Yep. I mean, in the barrel racing world, left is kind of standard, but some people do start. I mean, they start to the right first, but sometimes they go left, but mostly to the right.
Okay. And it's all about time, and knock over barrel, your time is done. So we are off and running coming up here. We have Janelle Schulner riding Annie will be the first rider up for us. This is in the 35 to 49-year-old age group. And here goes Janelle into the arena. Getting ready, and off she goes. She heads towards that right barrel first. Gets around that one cleanly. Over to the left. A little wide on the left barrel. Now out to the top. Gets clean around that top barrel and coming down to the finish. And it's 20.051 for Janelle.
Martha, you're up. Erica Payne, you're on Jack.
That brings up Martha Northwick on board Jackson.
You guys can be getting ready. Alex Mead, you're going to be first. McKenna Anderson second. Alex Quack third.
And Martha's off and running, and Martha goes to the left first. And coming around that right barrel, now up to the top barrel. Gets turned around and coming back down. 17.427. 17.427, the new leader. And that gets us to Erica Payne on Martini. And Erica Payne on Martini will wrap up the 35 to 49-year-old age group, looking to beat that time of 17.427. And she's off and running. Took off right away. Got around the right barrel. Now back to the left barrel. And around the top. And now back down towards the finish.
Great time, 17.374.
17.374, and that's going to be the winning time. So in that 35 to 49-year-old age group, third place went to Janelle Schulner riding Annie. Second place to Martha Northwick on Jackson. And first place with a time of 17.374, Erica Payne on board Martini. That brings us to the 18 to 34-year-old age group. Alex Mead is on Carmen. Alex Mead on board Carmen. Takes the right-hand barrel. Now clears the left-hand barrel. Gets around the top and coming down. 18.485, and I'm sorry about that, Alex. Not getting much of your run on there because it was a nice looking run. McKenna Anderson on board Razor. And McKenna Anderson gets around that first barrel, and now around the second barrel on the left, or on the right. I'll know my left and right eventually. And McKenna gets around the top barrel coming back down. Gets a time of 17.013. That puts her in first place.
Brianna Anderson on deck, and Michaela, you are in the hole.
Oh, Alexis Quack is up. Here goes Alexis. And here we go around the right barrel. Over to the left. Now back up to the top. Getting a little wide on that path up to the top. And coming back down.
Good run there, 16.939.
16.939.
Brianna Anderson, you're up. Michaela, you're on deck. And
now it's Brianna Anderson.
This is number 83, Brianna Anderson.
By the way, Alexis's time is now the first place time. Brianna Anderson goes around the right barrel. Now back around the left barrel, nudges the barrel, but it stays upright. And it looks like Asher said, "What was that I just ran into?" And took a look back. Brianna gets it around the top and comes down for time. 22.727.
For Brianna Anderson. Michaela McElwain, you're up. McKenna Anderson, you're on deck.
And so Michaela McElwain on board Coco is the next one up. McKenna Anderson and Foxy will be on deck. Michaela in by the gate and now comes into the arena. And she's off and running. to the right side. Back over to the left. Nice tight turn around the left barrel. She was a little wide on the right, got a little wide on her path up to the top barrel, and a little wide coming down, very wide in fact.
Clean time 16.574.
16.574, and it may have been wide, but it's our new leader.
Hold on a second. McKenna, we're going to do a quick break here. Up next will be McKenna Anderson.
McKenna Anderson on board. Foxy will be the next rider. They're going to rake up that top barrel a little bit.
Barrel race 14 to 17. You guys can be getting ready.
So as they're doing that, I want to remind you that coming up next Monday night, we have Wissota Racing action from the Eagle Valley Speedway. And 1 week from tonight, we will be doing more open equestrian games. This time it will be from Wild Bill Saddle Club right outside of Elk Mound, Wisconsin. That's what's coming up here on NLWN-TV. And so now they have the raking done, and we're waiting for McKenna Anderson on board Foxy.
Julia, you're in the hole. Barrels are set, timers ready.
Still waiting for McKenna to come into the gate area. Here she comes. And now she comes into the arena. Time to beat is 16.574. McKenna nice and clean around the first barrel. This is her second horse. Around the second barrel. Now heading up towards the top barrel. Gets turned up there.
Clean time 24.310.
24.310 for McKenna Anderson. So Mackenzie Haas on Genuine Shot of Peppy is our next rider in the barrels.
5 and 14 to 17. Ashton Strand, Kier Procknell, you'll be second. Kylie Schleyer third.
Again, time to beat 16.574. Now she's in to the arena and immediately takes off. This is Mackenzie Haas and knocked over the barrel, so it will be a no time for Mackenzie. Let's see her finish the run, see what kind of a time she can get, though, even though it won't be official. And it's going to frustrate her to no end because that would have been a first place time of 15.8. That would have been the new leader, but unfortunately it's a no time because she did knock over the barrel on the right-hand side.
Julia, you're up.
Julia Northwick riding Itzy is the next rider. And here's Julia. And they're off and running to the right side. Heads over to the left. Her cheering contingent is sure letting her know what they want her to do as they go up to the top barrel, get around the top barrel and coming back down. It's a good ride for Julia. 19.509. 19.509.
Brianna Anderson, you're up.
That brings up Brianna Anderson. Brianna will be the last rider for the 18 to 34. Brianna Anderson, last rider, 18 to 34-year-old age group. Brianna's on board Sage this time around. She's around that right-hand barrel. Quickly to the left barrel. Now heading up to the top barrel. And coming back down.
Time 17.421.
17.421. So we have, that finishes up the 18 to 34-year-old barrel races. And third place went to McKenna Anderson on board Razor. Second place to Alexis Kwok on Diamond. And first place with a time of 16.574 to Michaela McElwain riding Coco. And they're going to drag the arena again as it's getting pretty dug up. So we'll be ready for the 14 to 17-year-olds. But while they drag the arena, we'll take this brief time out. You're watching Open Equestrian Games from the Bit and Spur Saddle Club in Eau Claire, Wisconsin on NLWN-TV.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are, they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
And welcome back to the Bit and Spur Saddle Club. And we have the 14 to 17-year-old barrel racing coming up. We have Ashlyn Strand riding Independent and Free. She'll be the first one up. Kira Prochnow on Loudy and Kylie Schleyer on Amber will be the next two. But here's Ashlyn Strand. And went around the first barrel the correct way. Almost didn't. Now off to the left-hand side. Independent and Free is being a little independent right now. Now here we go, coming back down the home stretch.
Clean time 21.850.
21.850 for Ashlyn Strand. It brings up Kira Prochnow on Loudy. Still waiting for Kira. Here she comes. On board Loudy. Takes the right barrel cleanly. Takes the left barrel nice and tight. Oh, knocked over the left barrel. I thought she was going to get through that one okay, but as she straightened it out to go up towards the top, that left barrel went over on her. So it's a no time. 15.683 is a time she would have had, and that would have been one of the best times of the day. Kylie Schleyer on Amber is the next one up. And Lydia Leach on Dust of Ace is on deck. Kylie enters the arena. Gets around that first barrel. And then over to the right, or left side. Little wide coming off the top barrel, but a clean run.
Clean time 17.666.
17.666 for Kylie Schleyer. And that's now the time to beat. Lydia Leach going to try to do exactly that, riding Dust of Ace. And here comes Lydia. And she's one of these that goes to the left-hand side first. Now back over to the right. Whoa, and Dust of Ace didn't like making that corner. Lydia keeps it under control, gets around the top barrel, coming back down, still looking for a good time.
Clean time 17.583.
17.583 does put Lydia in the lead.
Mia Smith, you're up. Jen Jensen, Basil, you're neck, and Autumn Morrow, you're in the
So,
hole. Number 92,
Mia Smith on Bailey. Jensine Basil is on deck on board Candy. And Mia is in the arena. Goes around that right barrel first. Nice and tight around the left barrel. Quickly up around the top barrel. A little wide coming off that, but still looking good. 17.380. 17.380. And that puts Mia in the lead.
Jensen, Basil, you're up. Autumn Morrow, you're on deck. Olivia Taylor, you're
So Jensine Basil is coming up on board Candy. Autumn Morrow is on deck on Rodeo. But this is Jensine Basil entering the gate area on Candy. You can probably hear the wind blowing in the headset. Kind of a breezy day here, chilly, but it's a nice day to be out here doing this. Jensine gets around the first two barrels clean. Going up towards that third barrel. And coming back down the home stretch.
Clean time, 17.142.
And that's going to put Jensine on top, 17.142, new first place rider.
That's our new leader. Autumn Morrow, you're up. Olivia Taylor, you're on deck.
So,
Anderson, you're in the hole.
Autumn Morrow is the next rider. She's on board Rodeo, looking to beat that 17.142.
Here's the first 5 in that.
And here she goes.
Chloe Lane will be second. Michaela Lane third. Bristol
Autumn Morrow on Rodeo.
fourth. And Taylor, you're the fifth.
Autumn bringing it back down home.
Clean time, 18.829.
18.829 for Autumn Morrow. Olivia Taylor now on Rawhide. And Rawhide enters the arena with Olivia on board. And they immediately go after the left barrel. Then back around the right barrel. Little wide going around that right barrel. Heading up towards the third barrel. And back down.
You broke the timer.
Yeah, she broke the timer. I didn't happen to see it as it happened, but she must have done it in the looping around, so it ends up in no time.
Emily Anderson, you're
Emily Anderson riding Monte. This is the last rider on the 11 to 13, or excuse me, the 14 to 17. We'll have the 11 to 13-year-olds coming up next. Emily Anderson on board Monte. Around left barrel, quickly back over to the right-hand side. Clears that one. Gets around that top barrel. Bring it back down. 17.828. And that takes care of the 14 to 17-year-olds. Third place went to Lydia Leach on Dust of Ace. Second place to Mia Smith on Bailey. And first place with a time of 17.142, Jensine Basil riding Candy. That brings us to the 11 to 13-year-olds. And they adjusted the barrel slightly for the 11 to 13-year-olds.
Timer's ready. Olivia Strand is up. Chloe, you're on deck. And Michaela Lane, you're in the hole.
Olivia Strand riding Rumchata. Olivia gets around that left barrel, heading up towards the top barrel. And brings it back down the home stretch. 24.174 for the leadoff time for Olivia Strand. Chloe Lane on Running for Fun is our next rider. We'll see how much fun Running for Fun is having running this. And here goes Chloe around that right-hand barrel. Nice and tight around that first barrel. Nice and close around the second barrel. Chloe looking to get a good time out of this as long as that third barrel keeps standing, and it does. Here she comes. And a very good time. 15.4. 15.438. And so she is going to set the pace.
Michaela, you're up. Bristol, you're next.
Michaela Lane. Chloe's sister is now riding. She goes around the right barrel. I was talking to the two of them a little bit earlier. They were talking about riding in the foreign line, and they said, but it's just the two of us. We don't have any friends. And she goes around that top barrel and coming down.
Clean time, 23.393.
23.393. Bristol Potachik riding Sunny. Bristol Potachik on Sunny. Gets around the third barrel and coming back down the home stretch.
Clean time, 23.355.
23.355.
Taylor, you're up. Allie, you're on deck.
And that it just barely moves her into third place. Taylor Potachik on Alice. Takes the right barrel. Around that left barrel. And back up to the third barrel. And here we go, back down the home stretch.
Clean time, 17.963.
17.963. And that will put her in second place. So, Allie Haas riding Charlie will be next.
This is number 78, Allie Haas.
By the way, Taylor's time of 17.963 did put her in second place. Still waiting for Allie Haas on board Charlie. And Charlie isn't real excited about this. But here they come. Charlie is not liking the gate. And she's going to back Charlie into the gate. Into the gate she goes. Now, once Charlie gets running, Charlie seems just fine with this. Nice and clean around that second barrel. Up to the top one. She's looking for a really good time out of this.
Clean time, 16.107.
16.107. That's going to put Allie into second place.
Ava Allman, you're up. Maisie Schulner, you're in the hole.
And Ava Allman is up. Coming into the gate and around the right. Heading back to the left. and knocked over that left barrel, so it will be in no time for Ava Allman. Got around the top barrel.
Would have been 17.435.
Should be at the end.
After the barrel is set, Maisie Schulner, you'll be up. Then we'll go to 10 and under. So Jillian, you will be on deck. Joseph Basil.
Okay, Maisie Schulner riding Pony Boy is the next horse.
This is number 86, Maisie Schulner with Pony Boy.
And she gets led into the arena. Round that first barrel. And the left side barrel. This is going to wrap up the 11 to 13-year-olds. Got around that top barrel. Here we go, coming back down.
Clean time, 16.351.
16.351.
All right. Class 16.
That's going to put her into third place. And so the results of the 11 to 13-year-olds, third place went to Maisie Schulner on Pony Boy. Second place to Allie Haas on Charlie. First place to Chloe Lane on Running for Fun with a time of 15.438. That gets us to the 10 and under. We have 3 entrants in the 10 and under. Jillian Basil is our first rider. She's in the arena. She's on Molly.
Jillian Basil, Joe, you're on deck, and Indy Schulner, you're in the hole.
And around that right-hand barrel goes Jillian. And the left-hand barrel.
Placings for 11 to 13. First place went to Chloe Lane with a 15.438. Second was Allie Haas. Third, Maisie Schulner. Fourth, Taylor Tatcha.
Yeah, a 31.541.
Clean time, 31.540 for Jillian Basil.
Check that, 540 for Jillian Basil.
Joseph Basil, you're up.
That brings us to Joseph Basil coming into the arena.
Then we'll go to Jackpot, which we will drag. We are going to drag.
And here goes Joseph.
For that. Oh, I guess we're just going to have one drag.
And Joseph goes around the left-hand barrel. These little guys, like I said earlier, are learning the patterns. They're learning their horses, learning how to ride this. And it's just fun to see them out here doing this, having a good time in the fresh air. And here comes Joe. Joseph Basil.
Clean time for Joseph with a 38.734.
38.734.
Amy Schulner, you're up.
That gets us to Amy Schulner. Amy is riding Jack the Mini.
This is number 85, Indy Schulner on Jack.
Indy Schulner.
The Mini.
And Indy enters the arena. And Jack took off popping a wheelie. And here goes Jack, and Jack almost decided to go around that first barrel twice. Indy has it under control. And Indy gets a clean run, an exciting but clean run. 20.097. That's going to be enough.
Jackpot barrels, you guys will be next.
So, third place in the 10 and under barrel racing was Joseph Basil on Paisley. Second place, Jillian Basil on board Molly. And first place with a time of 20.097 on Jack the Mini is Indy Scholner. Coming up next, we have the jackpot barrels, where they're racing for money. We have a jackpot today, I believe Dan said $80, and $88 now I get hollered at from the booth, and I appreciate that. We want to keep this as straight as can be. We do have a late entry as well. So while we get all that figured out and get the arena dragged, we're going to take a brief time out. You're watching Open Equestrian Games from the Bit and Spur Saddle Club in Eau Claire on NLWN-TV.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back to the Bit and Spur Saddle Club. We now have the jackpot barrels coming up. And we've got Kira Prochnow riding Loudy is going to be the first one up. Then we'll have Kylie Schleyer on Amber and McKenna Anderson on Razor. And Kira's off and running. $88 jackpot they're racing for now. Round that second barrel, nice and clean. Coming back down the home stretch now. Let's see what she sets the pace time for. 16.133. That is now the time to beat.
Kylie, you're up. McKenna Anderson.
And Kylie Schleyer on Amber is now up. Kylie is in the arena. Goes to that right-hand barrel first. And she hits the second barrel, but it stays upright. Around that third barrel, she nudges it also, but it stays up. 18.995 for Kaylee Schleyer. McKenna Anderson is the next rider on board Razor. And here she goes off and running. Right, or left side first, over to the right-hand side. Now up to that third barrel. Gets her on that nice and clean. Heading down the home stretch.
Clean time 16.589.
16.589. That's good enough to put her into second place. Alexis Kwok is up riding Diamond, and Michaela McElwain on Coco is on deck. And then I got a note here saying they're going to drag again after that because they want everybody to have a nice clean surface to run on when they're running for money. But here goes Alexis around the right-hand barrel. Now she's on her way over to the left side. Good and clean. Nice looking run for Alexis. On board Diamond. 17.097. That puts Alexis into third place. Michaela McElwain is the next rider. Michaela is on board Coco. A little bit wide going into that first barrel, but she's riding hard. Goes around that second barrel. A little wide setting up for the third barrel, and she knocked the third barrel over. Would have been a 17.05, but
17.025. All right.
but it's a no time, and they're going to drag the arena again so that everybody has a good, clean surface to run on.
Number 324, Alexis Clock.
So while they drag the arena, we're going to take a quick time out. You're watching Open Equestrian Games on NLWN-TV.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
And we're back at the Bit and Spur Saddle Club. We're still doing the jackpot race. And Janelle Schulner is our next rider. Waiting for Janelle to come into the gate area. There's some dispute over whether Alexis Quack, due to the fact that she was using the lead rope, was disqualified, and there's some dispute over that. But Janelle Schulner is riding right now. Nice and clean around the left side and heading up for that top barrel. She comes down. 17.218. So as of right now, that puts Janelle in third place. So Mackenzie Haas is entering the arena, and off she goes. Gets around that first barrel. Mackenzie Haas on Genuine Shot of Peppy. Around the third barrel. Coming back down the home stretch.
Late time, 15.197.
15.197. Our new leader.
Autumn Morrow, you're up. Olivia Taylor, you're on deck. Maisie Schulner, you're in the hole.
So 15.197 is now the time to beat. Autumn Morrow is coming up riding Rodeo. And got a little wide on that second barrel.
After jackpot, we'll have jumping figure 8. You guys can get ready for that. 19.927.
19.927 for Autumn Morrow. Olivia Taylor on Rawhide is the next rider.
Olivia Leach, you're in the hole.
And Olivia's on Rawhide, getting ready. She's entering the gate area. And here she goes. This is the jackpot race. $88 is the jackpot. A nice clean pattern.
Great time, 19.581.
19.581 for Olivia Taylor. Maisie Schulner is the next rider, riding Pony Boy. And then Lydia Leach will wrap up the jackpot race. And she gets around the left barrel. Now up to the top barrel. And
Great time, 17.018.
17.018.
Lydia, you are up.
And that brings us to the last rider in the jackpot of Lydia Leach. And they've determined that Alexis Kwok's ride was perfectly legal. So her time will stand. Lydia Leach on dust to base, and she knocked over the barrel. And so that means that in the jackpot race, the third place rider is McKenna Anderson on board Razor. Second place was Kira Prochnow on board Loudy. And the first place rider with a time of 15.197 on Genuine Shada Pepe is Mackenzie Haas. And that was an $88 jackpot race. So congratulations to those riders. And while they get ready, they're going to evidently do a little more dragging. And we're going to be going to the jumping figure eights. That'll be coming up right after they drag the arena and get everything set up for that. And while they do that, we're going to take a little time out here. You've been watching Open Equestrian Games from the Bit and Spur Saddle Club in Eau Claire on NLWN-TV.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hat person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
And welcome back to the Bit and Spur Saddle Club. They're finishing up the dragging of the arena as we're getting ready for the jumping figure eights. And Dan, you want to tell us how this works?
Yeah, jumping figure eight. So they are setting up right now. There's gonna be a jump they have to go over.
That's what the red bar is on the diagram that people are looking at.
Yep, you're gonna go down to the middle barrel. You're gonna figure eight to the right or the left, doesn't matter. And you go, say if you go to the right first, you're gonna go all the way to the right, figure eight, come all the way back to the left, figure eight, go back to the middle, and then come back across the pole, and fastest time wins.
So basically, you go down to that middle barrel after, if you clear the bar, you go down to the middle barrel, and you weave your way, basically weave your way through the barrels till you get back to the middle barrel after you've done every barrel, and then you go and jump that bar again, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier said than done, though, isn't it? I've seen this where bars get snapped in half, and
I've seen the bar go 2 or 3 feet in the air and land right back down. So.
And but my granddaughter was responsible for snapping a bar in half over at Wild Bill's, and so.
Oh yeah, there's always good entertainment.
Yes, and so we're getting ready for that. We're down to just 3 classes. It looks like 3 classes in the jumping figure eights, and so
we got the 18 to 34s right now.
And how are you doing up there, Dan? Doing double duty, and you're up there in the crow's nest talking to us, and
yeah, I got a great view up here.
Yeah, you do, and you're talking to the everybody here at the arena, and then you're also talking to our fans out there.
Got our cameraman right below me here.
Yeah, don't drop anything on him. He's hard to find sometimes, and so we don't want to do anything that would tick him off.
Yeah, good day for a show. We had a good.
You know, it really is. It's a little cool. It's kind of breezy. Our awnings are trying to blow away. We staked them down, and so we didn't want to have to chase it across an arena while somebody's doing barrel races or something. Yeah, the cameraman here is crazy. He's in shorts and a short sleeve shirt, and
there's always one in the crowd.
There is. He's a good old Wisconsin boy, even if he did grow up in Illinois, and And that's kind of the way, although I grew up in Wisconsin, I got long pants and a jacket on. And 63 degrees at the start of the event today, and a steady breeze, clouds overhead. So it has stayed cool for August 2nd. I mean, we've had weather in the upper 80s and 90s, and so in the 60s is kind of chilly, but it's also kind of refreshing.
Yeah, fall Wisconsin sports are the best.
So we are getting ready for the jumping figure 8, and that should be coming up pretty soon. We have some young riders hanging out by the starting gate. I don't think they even realize they're on the camera. And yeah, they see that they're on the camera. And but they've been there the whole time, and so we've got the arena ready, it looks like, so we're ready for these groups to get started. We're going to have Alex Mead on board Carmen.
Alex,
will be the first one. You can see the pole and the 3 barrels that they're going to have to weave their way around. So Alex Mead on board Carmen. This is the 18 to 34-year-old age group.
Whenever you're ready, Alex.
And Alex is in the gate area. And now into the arena. And she's getting Carmen ready to go. Heading toward the barrel and cleared the bar, I should say. Around the middle barrel, now weaving the barrels. Now back to the middle. Now just got to clear that bar one more time. And up and over.
Green time, 20.967.
20.967 to set the pace. McKenna Anderson is our next rider. Waiting for her to enter the gate area. Here she comes. McKenna Anderson on board Razor. Clears the bar. Now starting to weave the barrels. And gets back around that center barrel, back down, and kicked the bar off with a rear hoof. And it's a no time for McKenna Anderson. It would have been a 19.35. It would have put her in the lead. Alexis Kwok is the next rider on board Diamond. They get the barrel or the bar reset.
All right, Alexis Kwok, you're up. Michaela, you're on deck, and McKenna Anderson, you're in the hole.
Alexis Kwok in the arena, getting Diamond ready. And around we go one more time to get ready. Clears the bar. Starts weaving the barrels. Back to that center barrel. Now back to the bar.
Great time.
And
19.241
for Alexis Kwok, and that will put Alexis into first place. So we have Michaela McElwain on board Coco. She comes through the gate, out into the arena. She's off and running. Nice clear of the bar. Over to the barrels. Weaves to the left this time. Now back to that center barrel. And knocked over the center barrel, and she came off the horse. She looks like she's going to be okay. She's back on her feet. Unfortunately, that will be a no time.
Apparently, that's a pretty heavy barrel.
And she's walking off, kind of laughing at herself for that and brushing a little dust off the backside. It's good to see that she's okay, Michaela McElwain. And so we have now McKenna Anderson and then Mackenzie. So we have the Max here. McKenna Anderson riding Foxy is our next rider. Once they get the arena clear. And now they're ready for
McKenna, you're up. Mackenzie on deck.
McKenna Anderson on board Foxy. Mackenzie Haas on Genuine Shot of Peppy is the next one. Here goes McKenna.
Hey, McKenna is up. Brianna. Hey, Brianna, you run next. And then Mackenzie, you'll be in the hole.
And she knocked over the bar, so it'll be a no time.
Okay, at the end? Yeah. Or where? We're just going to split them up here. Well, who's riding right now? Right now it's McKenna Anderson. That's what I thought. And then it'll be Brianna. So we got Brianna now? Yeah. Which one is she riding now? Asher. Thank you.
No time for McKenna. All right, we're going to run Brianna Anderson. You're up. Mackenzie Haas.
Okay, a slight change in the lineup. Brianna Anderson is riding, I believe it was Razor. I think that's what they said, because she'll be riding Sage in just a little bit. So here goes Brianna. She clears the bar. Weaving the way through the barrels. And back down over the bar. And a clean run.
21.444 for Brianna Anderson.
21.444 for Brianna Anderson. And that'll put her into third place.
Okay. Then Brianna Anderson, you'll be on deck. Then we'll go to 14 to 17. So 14 to 17-year-olds.
Mackenzie Haas on Genuine Shot of Peppy is the next rider. Mackenzie Haas on Genuine Shot of Peppy. Waiting for her to come into the... Here she comes. And into the arena. And off she goes. Nice clear of the bar. And into the weaves. This is the jumping figure eights, 18 to 34-year-olds. Round that middle barrel and back over the bar. A nice time.
Good run, 17.488.
17.488. And that's our new leader.
Brianna Anderson, you're up, and then we are going to move the pattern up just a little bit. for 14 to 17. So Kira Bracknell, Kylie Schleyer, Lydia Leach, you guys will be coming up.
And so that leaves Brianna Anderson now back in the arena. This time she's on Sage.
This is Brianna Anderson.
She's back there weaving the barrels around that center barrel and coming back toward the bar. And she clears the bar. 20.198. That's going to finish up the 18 to 34-year-olds. And let's see here. It appears as though yeah, we have Brianna Anderson on that last ride on Sage, taking third place. Second place went to Alexis Quack on Diamond, and first place to Mackenzie Haas on Genuine. Shot of Pepe with a time of 17.488. That takes us to the jumping figure eights, 14 to 17-year-olds. Kira Prochnow is going to be the first rider. She's on board Loudy. Waiting for Kira to come into the gate area. And she's in the arena. These are the 14 to 17-year-olds. Clears the bar. Takes the center barrel. Goes over to the left. Weaves her way back through. Nudged the center barrel, but it stayed upright. And there we go, back around and down across the bar and gets a clean time. 18.335. That's a good initial time to try to chase. Brings up Kylie Schleyer on Amber. And here she comes into the gate area. And into the arena. She clears the bar. Now weaving the barrels. Back over the bar, and she missed the bar. So we're going to get a broken pattern. No time on a broken pattern that time for Kaylee Schleyer. Lydia Leach on Dust of Ace is our next rider.
We got another team for four inline barrels. Anybody else want to get in? Come on up, get entered.
And Lydia is out in the arena. And the bar goes off. So Lydia's going to get a no time. Yeah, she would have had a 22.45. But knocking the bar off kind of put the kibosh on that idea. That brings up Mia Smith on board. Bailey is our next rider.
All right, Mia, you're up. Jensen Basil, you're on deck. Autumn Morrow, you're no.
Waiting for Mia to get into the entrance area. Here she goes. Mia Smith on Bailey. Cleared the bar. Now weaving the barrels. Coming back down home. Clears the bar and a good clean time.
19.459.
.459. That'll put her in second place.
Mia Smith, Jensen Basil, you're up. Autumn Morrow, you're on deck.
Jensine Basil on Candy. Waiting for her to get in the entrance area. Now she approaches. Coming through the gate. And into the arena. Clears the bar, heads for the barrels. So far, a nice clean run for Jensine Basil. Now back to clear the bar one more time. And she does.
19.606.
19.606 puts Jensine into third place. Autumn Morrow on board Rodeo is our next rider. Autumn quickly into the arena, clears the bar, and back into the barrels. Got to get back over to that center barrel again. Got a little wide on that right-hand barrel. Now down to the bar, clears it, clean time, 20.098.
20.098 for Autumn Morrow.
Olivia Taylor on board Rawhide is our next rider.
13 and under. So Chloe Lane, Michaela Lane, Bristol, Taylor.
And here goes Olivia. Kicked the bar, but it stayed up where it belonged, so it's not a problem yet. She clears the barrels. Now back around to the center barrel. And now back to the bar. She's going to have a clean time. 24.293.
Emily Anderson, you're up. Then we'll go to
Next rider is Emily Anderson. Emily is riding Monty.
Kayla Lane, you'll be in the hole.
Emily looking to beat the time of 18.335 set by Kira Prochnow. And here goes Emily. She cleared the barrel.
Hold up. We're going to move the barrels up one more time after this.
She's in there weaving the barrels now. And knocked over the right-hand barrel, so they will be a no time. And she kicked the bar off also, so that's also a no time.
All right, we're going to move the pattern a little bit for 13 and under.
So, that concludes the 14 to 17-year-olds. Third place went to Jensine Basil riding Candy. Second place went to Mia Smith on board Bailey. And first place with a time of 18.335, Kira Prochnow on board Loudy. They move the barrels up a little bit for the 13 and under age group. And that gives us Chloe Lane riding Running for Fun.
Timer's ready. Looking for
Chloe Lane is coming in.
The placings for 14 to 17. First place on Kira Prochnow.
And here comes Chloe backing into the arena.
Third, Jensen Basil. Fourth, Autumn Morrow.
And now she's off and running. Clears the bar. Back into the barrels. Gets around that center barrel, coming towards the bar. Clears the bar. Good clean time. 18.185. That's a good pace to set for Chloe Lane, riding Running for Fun. That brings up Michaela Lane. And Michaela is riding Wash My Socks. And Wash My Socks doesn't really like the bar. Went over the bar, though. Now weaving the barrels. These horses do a lot of rounding of things. They don't really like the going over things. Now coming back to the bar, let's see how they negotiate the bar this time. Didn't pass it, they just kind of did a little loop-de-loop. Try to get it step over. They cleared the bar. 49.452.
Bristol, you're up. Taylor, you're on deck. Allie House, you're in the hole.
So Bristol Potachik on board Sunny. And Sunny steps over the bar. Nice and easy around the barrels. And around that last barrel. And a clean time.
Clean time 36.849.
36.849 for the time being. That puts Bristol.
Oh, he broke the pattern, I guess.
Oh, they're going to say it was a broken pattern, so no
Taylor,
time
you are up. Allie, you're
for
on deck.
Bristol. Taylor Potachik on board Alice. Oh, they double crossed the timer, so this will also end up being a no time. Horses really do tend to shy at that bar. And technically, she did clear the bar that last time.
Taylor, you broke the timer.
So she broke the I-beam of the timer. Dan up there in the announcer's booth said she broke the timer. I just don't know. Dan, you're going to send her the bill for that one?
Yeah, you know, better keep watching the mail.
Okay, so we've got Allie Haas on board Charlie as our next rider. Getting a guide in. Charlie doesn't like going through this gate.
4 in-line teams. 4 in-line teams. You guys can be getting ready.
They're still trying to get Charlie convinced to come over towards the...
You're going to be in the hole.
And Charlie's trying to back Allie into the bushes. Now with a lead, she's getting help, but Charlie doesn't like this gate area very much. Here we go. Charlie is in. Cleared the bar the first time. She's back into the barrels. And knocked over the right-hand barrel. This would have been a heck of a run, too. 17.64. That would have been a first place run had they not knocked over that last barrel. Jillian Basil is up on board Molly.
4 in-line barrel teams. You guys will be coming up. First team will be Taylor Patachek, Bristol Patachek, Autumn Morrow, and
So here comes
second team will be
Jillian Basil.
Eva Elman, Maisie Schulner, and Janelle Schulner.
She is on Molly.
Team will be Mia Smith, Lydia Leach, Kira Prochnow, and Kylie.
Molly shies at the bar. Going to try and get Molly to step over it. So far, so good. There we go. Got Molly over the bar. Now she's got to get back to the barrels and weave those. Back towards the center barrel now. This is Jillian Basil on Molly. She's actually in the 10 and under group, but they're running 13 and under because of numbers here in this event.
47.439.
So 47.439, and believe it or not, that puts her in second place.
Joseph Basil, you're up. Ava Elman,
Joseph Basil is our next rider, and Joseph is riding Paisley. And so Joe is in the arena. Paisley says, I'm not so sure I want to do this.
All right, Joe was up. Ava, you'll be on deck. Maisie, you're going to be in the hole.
Thanks for yelling.
Still trying to get Paisley over there. I think Paisley would rather be listening to some music from Prince out at Paisley Park. Joe, yeah, he's got 2 legs over. 3, 4. There we go. We've cleared the bar. That's a way to stick with it, Joe. He's trying to get Paisley to move along a little quicker. Paisley kind of gives the look like, I got you to the barrel. What more do you want? Now he's back towards the center barrel, weaving his way through. He's got to get over to the right-hand barrel. Clears the right-hand barrel, now back to the center barrel and around that. Now we have to deal with that bar again. One step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step, and Joe is going to get a clean run.
Good job, Joe. 1:15.708. It's a clean time.
1:15.708.
Ava Elman, you're up. Maisie Schulner, you're
And believe it or not, that is a 3rd place ride.
Get some teams for 4 in line. We got
At least
4 teams now.
thus far. Ava Ailman on board Bernie is our next rider. Kicked the bar, but it stayed where it belonged. Now she's back there at the barrels. And the right-hand barrel goes over. For a minute there, it looked like it might right itself. Now the center barrel goes over. It's kind of that philosophy. If you knock over one, you might as well knock over several. But it's a no time.
Would have been 24-24-6.
And so no time for Ava Ailman on Bernie. Maisie Scholner on Pony Boy.
4 in line teams. You guys can be getting closer to the gate.
Maisie Scholner on Pony Boy is our next rider.
Taylor, Bristol, Autumn, and Olivia, you'll be first. Michaela, Ava, Maisie, and Janelle, you'll be second. Mia.
Here comes Maisie.
Kylie,
into the arena.
third, and my fourth team is coming up here now.
Maisie clears the bar. Weaving the barrels. Round that center barrel, coming back down, looking for a clean time, and she gets a clean time.
16.747.
16.747. And that's our first place time.
For jumping figure 8, 4 in line is next.
So that was the 13 and under jumping figure 8. Third place went to Jillian Basil on Molly. Second place to Chloe Lane on Running for Fun. And first place on board Pony Boy is Maisie Scholner with a time of 16.747. Coming up right after this brief timeout, we will have the 4 in line, and you're watching Open Equestrian Games on NLWN-TV.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
And we are back at the Bit and Spur Saddle Club. We are getting ready for the 4 in line. And Dan, tell us how this works.
4 in line. So you got a team of 4, and you have to stay in the same order. So you're going to go from the timer. You're going to go down. So at the end.
You don't have the.
Oh, they don't have all the patterns set up here.
4 in line pattern.
So you're going to go across timer. You're going to weave the barrels. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 barrels. You get to the 4th barrel, and then you're going to go around your left barrel, up and around the far barrel, back around to the one on the right, and then weave the next 4 back. So there's 1, 2,
so
3, 4.
It's kind of like pole weaving with a barrel race stuck on the tail end of it.
Yeah, right. Yep, that's what it is. Fastest time wins.
It looks like an arrowhead, and the key is it's the fastest from the first rider that breaks the timing line to the last rider on the team that breaks the timing line, and they all race as a team, and they win as a team or lose as a team or whatever they do as a team. So we've got a number of teams here on the. We have 1, 2, 3 teams, I believe, on the 4 in line. And they're still in the process of setting up the pattern. So I'll tell you what, while they're getting ready to set up the pattern, why don't we take another brief time out? You're watching Open Equestrian Games from the Bit and Spur Saddle Club in Eau Claire, Wisconsin on NLWN-TV.
This is Jaina, into the future. Do you remember back when I was in 7th grade? Anything that I would do, she would make fun of me, she would laugh at me, she would talk to her friends and whisper. I grew up to be more independent and love myself and just be a little bit more confident.
Aw, I'm like a little tearing up right now.
We are back at the Bit and Spur Saddle Club, and we are getting ready for the 4 in line team barrels. And if you can see out in the arena here that the barrels kind of form an arrowhead, and that's what's going to end up happening once our intrepid cameraman gets up into his perch. But we have the first team is going to be Michaela McElwain, Ava Ailman, Maisie Schulner and Janelle Schulner. Tipped barrel does not give you a no time. They just add 5 seconds. And the first team, Michaela's team, is in the arena. They must remain in the correct order. Michaela's leading the way, and they're off and running. A tip barrel will add 5 seconds to the team's score. Now they're going around those end barrels. Coming back to weaving the straight barrels. One gets knocked over. And
28,159 plus 5. 28,159 plus 5.
So that's 33.159 with the penalty. That's 33.159 when you include the penalty.
Second team, Mia, Alexis.
So Mia Smith on Bailey, Alexis Quack on Diamond, Emily Anderson on Monty, and Kira Prochnow on Loudy are entering the arena. They're getting looped around, getting ready to go. And they're on their way. They're up around the top part of the pattern now, going around the arrowhead. Coming back to the weaving barrels. So far, clean looking run. And
28,416.
28.416. That puts them in first place right now. Now we have Taylor Potachik, Bristol Potachik,
Right,
Autumn Morrow,
Autumn,
and Olivia Taylor are up. They're coming into the arena. Taylor's leading the way. And they're weaving through. Now they're going around the arrowhead. Almost a broken pattern. And Bristol gets it across. 36.556. That puts them into third place. And then our fourth team, we have Mia Smith on Bailey, Lydia Leach on Dust of Ace, Kira Prochnow on Loudy, and Kylie Schleyer on Amber. And they will be entering the arena shortly. Here they come. Well, at least part of them. Here we go. And they need to remain in a row. They get through the first weave just fine. And around the arrowhead. Now weaving their way back. Tip to barrel looked like a broken pattern. That's probably going to be a 5-second penalty.
Broken pattern for them. All right. I think that's our last team.
So broken pattern evidently is no time.
You guys will be next.
So, winning the foreign line is the team of Mia Smith, Alexis Kwok, Emily Anderson, and Kira Prochnow with a time of 28.426. That brings us to the speed dash. Once they clear the arena of all the barrels. So while they do that, we'll have speed dash for you right after this timeout. You're watching Open Equestrian Games on NLWN-TV.
Anytime they're playing music downstairs, it's loud. I go downstairs, see what they're doing, see what music they're doing, see what they're dancing to. I go play piano downstairs, they come get involved. Leah has a drum set beside it, banging that. Any music, that's what they do.
And we're back at Bit and Spur Saddle Club, where we are getting ready for the final event of the day, the Speed Dash. And we do have a 35 to 49-year-old contestant, and that's Janelle Schulner riding Annie. And
McKenna Anderson, you are in the hole.
So here's Janelle Schulner.
35 to 49, you guys are up. 18 to 34, you are right on the doorstep.
Just down and back, that's all they've got to do. See some pretty quick times in this. Got a little wide on that barrel, but you can keep up your speed that way.
9.801.
9.801.
For Janelle.
Well, she will win that division, the 35 to 49-year-old.
Speed dash 18 to 34. Alex, you're up.
So we have the 18 to 34-year-olds, Alex Mead on Carmen to get things started.
Placings for speed dash 35 to 49. Janelle, first place goes to Janelle Schulner with a 9.801.
Still waiting for Alex Mead.
Alex, you are up. McKenna, you're on deck. Alexis Quack, you're in the hole.
Still waiting for Alex Mead. And we heard she's coming. Here she comes. Into the gate area.
Alexis Quack, you're in the hole.
And now she comes into the arena, and off she goes. It's almost like music to your ears to hear the hooves of the horse galloping like that. And 10.244. 10.244.
For Alex Mead, McKenna Anderson, you're up. Alexis Quack, you're
so that's the time to beat so far. McKenna Anderson on board Razor. She backs Razor into the arena, and off they go. Around the barrel, coming back. Trying to take the lead, and she does with a 9.477. 9.477.
For McKenna Anderson. Alexis Quack, you're up. Brianna Anderson, you're on deck. Michaela,
so Alexis Quack is the next rider. Alexis is riding Diamond. And Diamond is off and running. Whoa, Diamond didn't like that being paddled on the rear end to get going. 10.342.
For Alexis Quack. Brianna Anderson, you're up. Michaela McElwain, you're on deck.
That's a third place time as of right now. Brianna Anderson on board Asher. And coming back down.
10.641.
10.641.
Brianna Anderson. Michaela, you're up. McKenna, you're on deck. Mackenzie Haas.
Michaela McElwain on Coco.
4.77 still leads it.
Michaela McElwain. And Coco. Going really wide on that run.
9.412.
9.412. And that's going to put Michaela in the lead. Sometimes going wide allows you to maintain speed. And just like they do on the stock car races that we cover from Eagle Valley Speedway, sometimes it's how you maintain the speed through the turns, and that's what she did there to take the lead. That brings up McKenna Anderson on board Foxy.
$14 to $17 speed dash. You guys can be getting ready.
And McKenna and Foxy are on their way. $13.760 from McKenna Anderson on board Foxy. Mackenzie Haas on Genuine Shot of Peppy, and Genuine Shot of Peppy showing some pretty good speed today. So let's see how this one turns out. This is Mackenzie waiting for her to enter the starting area. Here she comes. This is Mackenzie Haas on board Genuine Shot of Peppy. Looking for a good time. 8.791. A new leader.
790 for Mackenzie Haas.
Oh, it is a 0 on that clock. 8.790. That's our new leader.
Brianna Anderson, you're up, and then we're going to smooth the pattern up a little bit.
Brianna Anderson is up. She's riding Sage. And she's off and running.
Kylie Schlayer and Lydia Leach.
And coming back. 9.589.
All right, we're going to move the
so they're going to clean up the pattern a little bit. So that's going to bring the 18 to 34-year-olds to an end. In third place, riding Razor, was McKenna Anderson. In second place was Michaela McElwain on board Coco. And in first place, with a time of 8.790, riding Genuine Shot of Peppy, was Mackenzie Haas. And they moved the barrel over a little bit. So that brings us to the 14 to 17-year-olds. Kira Prochnow on board Loudy. And off they go.
Good run there, 8.365.
8.365. That's setting the bar pretty high, or maybe in this case you'd say pretty low for these riders. That's a tough score to beat. Lydia Shaler.
790. Second was Michaela McElwain. Third, McKenna Anderson. Fourth,
and off she goes.
Fifth, Alex Mead, and sixth, Alexis Kwok.
Kaylee Schlayer. Coming back down.
9.969.
9.969. Opens her up in second place. Lydia Leach on Dust of Ace. And she's off and running. Around the barrel.
Good run there, 8.915.
8.915. That'll put Lydia into second place.
I just want to remind everyone, if you are even considering remotely attending Champ Show next year, because as we know, it's canceled this year.
All right, Mia Smith, you're up. Jensen, Basil, you're on deck, and Autumn, you're in the hole.
If you're even considering it,
So Mia Smith riding Bailey.
to register on the WSCA website for your qualifications to count.
Around the barrel and coming back.
If possible, go to the WSCA website and just register. It's super easy to do.
9.47.
9.471 for Mia Smith. Jensen, you're up. Autumn, you're on deck. And Olivia, you're in
And
the
that'll put her into third place.
11 to 13 speed dash. You guys can be getting ready.
Jensine Basil is our next rider. Around the barrel, and here she comes.
Good run there. 8.832.
8.832.
Autumn.
That's going to put her into second place. So Autumn Morrow. Round the barrel and coming back.
9.400.
9.400.
For Autumn Morrow.
Olivia Taylor on board
Emily
Rawhide.
Anderson, you're on deck.
And around the barrel goes Olivia or Autumn.
9.194.
Or check, that was Olivia. 9.194. Emily Anderson is going to be our last rider of the 14 to 17-year-olds.
Chloe Lane, Michaela Lane, you'll be second. Allie Haas third. Ava Hellman fourth. Maisie, you'll be fifth. This is Emily Anderson. Monty.
Emily Anderson into the arena, and off they go.
Eight, 986. 8.986.
8.986. And that wraps up the 14 to 17-year-olds. Third place was Lydia Leach riding Dust of Ace. Second place was Jensine Basil on board Candy. And first place, leading things off, setting a really tough target, on board Loudy with a time of 8.365 was Kira Prochnow. That brings us to the 11 to 13-year-olds. They move the barrel over a little bit. And now we have Chloe Lane on Running for Fun.
All right, whenever you're ready, Chloe.
Here she goes. Round the barrel, keeping the speed up.
Row 7.514.
7.514. That's going to be a tough time to beat. For Chloe Lane.
Chloe Lane.
Michaela Lane riding Wash My Socks.
You're on deck. Ava Hellman, you're in the hole.
Do my t-shirts while you're at it too. And here she comes, Michaela. And coming back. 10.184.
10.184 from Michaela Lane. Allie Haas.
That brings up Allie Haas on board Charlie.
Maisie Schuldner, you're in the hole. 10 and under speed dashers. You guys can be getting ready.
This is the 11 to 13-year-olds.
If you guys are still hungry, grab something soon. Food stand's starting to close up.
Still waiting for Allie Haas.
Placings for speed dash 14 to 17. First place went to Kier Brockmel with 8.365. Second
Still waiting for Charlie to get it. Charlie does not like going through this gate. He's given troubles all day with this. Once he gets through the gate, he runs like crazy. But he does not want to go through that gate. I know another horse like that, too. And here he goes. And we have a 7.96.
Good run there. 7.967. 7.967.
That will put Allie into second place. Ava Ailman on board Bernie is our next rider. This is Ava Ailman on board Bernie.
Good run there. 7.807.
7.807. That will give Ava second place.
Taylor, you're in the hole.
And Maisie is up. Maisie on board Pony Boy. Pony Boy got really low coming around the barrel, but kept on going. 8.198. That finishes up the 11 to 13-year-olds. Evidently, we have a couple more riders in the 11 to 13-year-olds. Oh, there we go. We have Bristol Potachik and Taylor Potachik. And this is Bristol.
10 and under, you guys can be getting ready right now, too. Jillian, Joe, and Indy. 11.523.
11.523. And now we have Taylor Potachik. And this will wrap up the 11 to 13-year-olds. $11.014. That does wrap up the 11 to 13-year-olds. Third place was Allie Haas riding Charlie. Second place, Ava Ailman on board Bernie. And first place with a time of 7.514 was Chloe Lane on Running for Fun. Chloe again started things off and set a time that no one could beat. So this brings us to our final group of riders for the day, the 10 and under speed dash. And of course, Jack the Mini is going to be running in this.
We are ready. 10 and under.
So we have Jillian Basil riding.
You're in the hole. Here's placings for
Jillian Basil's riding Molly.
Chloe Lane with a 7.514. Second was Ava Elliman. Third, Allie Haas. Fourth, Maisie Schuldner. Fifth, Michaela Lane. And sixth was Taylor.
And 15.440 for Jillian. That's going to bring us to Joe Basil. And he's ready to roll.
Oh, well, here we go. Speed Dash 14 to 17 results. First place went to Kira Prochnow with an 8.365.
Joe still trying to get Baisley to go all the way down to the other end of the arena. Baisley doesn't really want to do that, but now he gets him down to the barrel. Paisley kind of gives him that look like, I got here, what's in it for me? And he comes back. 33.131.
Joseph Basil, Indy.
And here comes Indy Schulner on Jack the Mini.
He has his own Facebook page right here.
Jack the Mini actually has his own Facebook page. And there he goes. With Indy on board. Nice tight turn. Jack has done this many times.
Clean time there, 9.139.
9.139, and that, of course, is going to put Jack the Mini into first place. Second place in the 10 and under will be Jillian Basil riding Molly, and third place on board Paisley is Joe Basil. Folks, we've had a long day of horse events, equestrian events here at the Bit and Spur Saddle Club. Join us next week at the same time when we'll bring you the events from Wild Bill Saddle Club in Elk Mound. For Dan Petchow and our cameraman, John Fellens, we want to thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next Monday night with racing from Eagle Valley Speedway, and then Tuesday night with equestrian from Wild Bills. You've been watching the Western Saddle Clubs Association Open Equestrian Show on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. This program was recorded live at Bit and Spur Saddle Club in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. This has been a production of NLWN-TV.